Hello and welcome to Sports by Compian. My name, of course, is your host, Stephen Compian, and for this divisional round, Pick'em edition, I bring on friend of the show, New England Patriots expert, Cooper O'Connell, rejoins the show. Cooper, how the hell are you?
It's great to be back. It's great to be able to talk to Compian Nation again. My favorite people on planet Earth.
Of
Um,
course.
Patriots are good. They're still in the playoffs. Nothing else in life matters right now besides what happens on Sunday at 3 o'clock.
That's right. The wild card round is a wrap. Quite the entertaining wild card round. Maybe tapered off there towards the end with some slightly boring games, but I'm sure Cooper was okay with that. Especially his Patriots taking care of the Chargers being one of those games. Turned out that O line that we've been talking about with the Chargers finally backfired on them. Herbert wasn't able to be protected, wasn't able to make completions on the run, and his Patriots hold the Chargers to 3 points, which was more than enough to get the job done. Maybe not Drake Maye's best game, but he certainly put up enough points to move them on into the divisional round. And now they face the Houston Texans. How you feeling over there, Cooper? How's it going? Cooper Foxborough is bringing back yet more glory, if you could even believe this.
Well, I feel pretty good. The front seven is healthy. I think the story of the Patriots Chargers game is the fact that their offensive line is an absolute disgrace. But to me, the story is that the Patriots front seven is healthy again. We got Kyrus Tonga, the big nose tackle. He's coming back for the Texans game after missing some time. Milton Williams, Christian Barmore in the middle are two DTs. Absolutely caused havoc the entire game. They had Justin Herbert running for his life. Maybe wishing the Dolphins drafted him instead of the San Diego Chargers or the Los Angeles Chargers, whatever they were at that point. I think, the Patriots Texans game, it's going to come down to the turnover battle. I think the Texans pass rush and the Patriots pass rush are going to get home a lot. So both quarterbacks had ball security issues last week. Drake Maye lost a fumble and could have lost more. CJ Stroud had like 5 fumbles. I don't even remember how many he lost, but
Yeah, what a mess. He can't play like that again and expect to beat these Patriots. We saw a very maybe diminished Steelers team, and as a result, Tomlin's like, I'm done. I can't fix this. I can't get it done. I'm out of here. Maybe we'll see him coaching somewhere else, but either way, he is done with the Steelers. All that's in the past, though. As Cooper mentioned, there's only 4 games this weekend as we get closer and closer to finding out who our Super Bowl champion will be. Let's start off with the Buffalo Bills and Denver Broncos. The Broncos, the Bo believers, if you will, have been hanging out for this week. They didn't have to do anything in the wild card round. Now they host a feisty Buffalo Bills team. Josh Allen, all kinds of injuries, all kinds of banged upness, but finds a way to get the victory against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they advance to. And their reward is is the Denver Broncos with their incredible D line, incredible defense in general, and they find ways to win games. This team.
absolutely. I think people they underestimate the Denver Broncos. I think they're the best team in the AFC, at least on paper. I think when it comes to January football, there's a few things that are really important. One, home field advantage, which Denver has, especially with the mile high air that Ryan Clark famously couldn't breathe in. Mile high is a hard place to play in. Secondly, O line. Thirdly, elite defense. Fourthly, elite head coach. And fifthly, a quarterback that can win in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix isn't Josh Allen or Drake May, but the Broncos, they let up, under 20 points a game. They're going to be in one score games no matter what in the fourth quarter, like they have been all season. And Bo Nix has been consistently delivering in those situations. And he does not get enough credit for it, in my opinion.
Agreed. As you mentioned, they are the number one team in the AFC on paper. It is funny that their previous matchup between the Bills and Broncos was, of course, the Bills beating the Broncos handily in the playoffs last year. The rematch, I suspect, will be quite different, though. Last year was just basically the Denver being happy to be there in the playoffs. This year, they're looking to make some noise. A lot of second year guys being really dangerous. There's a lot of second year guys in this divisional round. But we'll be covering the very first one here as Bo Nix looks to take out Josh Allen. Josh has been, we mentioned, that this is potentially Josh's year, with all his usual rivals out who knock him out of the playoffs. This is his chance to, handle business against some younger competition. Does he want it more? Does he want it enough to will his team to victory? They're pulling people out of wherever they can as they lose Gabe Davis, Braden Cooks. I'm sorry, he's back. They're gonna have to throw the ball to him. It looks like he'll just throw the ball to whoever he has to. They'll push him into the end zone if they have to. This Bills offense finds a way to get things done. White was absolutely incredible in the previous game where he knocked that just great coverage all game. And of course, he has the big deflection that leads to the Bishop interception. Bills take care of business in Jacksonville and move on. And here they are to face a Denver Broncos team that, as you mentioned, has a fantastic defense. Not a Sean Payton fan by any means, but the rest of this team is pretty cool. So we'll have to
No,
see
he's a
what they can
douchebag, but
do.
he's a good coach.
He is a total douchebag, but in fact, he is a very good coach. And yeah, so here we are with James Cook. Got quite shut down in Jacksonville. Can he get it going against a very tough Denver defense? They're pretty good against the run, I suspect, Cooper.
Yep, it's going to be hard for Buffalo to move the ball. I think a comparable defense to Denver would be Philly, and Philly did a really good job bottling up the Bills about 3 weeks ago. That was the game that clinched the AFC East for the Patriots. The Bills, I mean, when Josh Allen's hot, they're on a different level, but they're a hot and cold team, and if Josh Allen can't take care of the football against the Broncos defense, I don't see how they win this game.
Yeah, I do feel like the Broncos are probably going to be heavily favored going into this game. They're kind of the believe it team. Um,
I think the
you
public likes
know,
Buffalo because of Josh Allen. I think the public's probably low on Denver, if anything.
you
The
might be
public
right
thinks
about
Denver
that.
sucks because they win close games all the time.
Hey, but if you win, you win. I think that's what
Exactly.
really matters. But
Yep.
yeah, Josh Allen is going to have to will his team to another victory. We've talked about it with various times on this show how Bills are kind of lacking in weapons, but they sort of just get it done with Josh Allen. That seems to be enough. Will it be enough against this Denver team, Cooper? Personally, I don't think so. I think Denver's defense shows up strong, contains Josh Allen to a strong degree, and Bo Nix manages to make some big plays. And Denver advances at home and will host the winner of the Patriots Texans. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yep. If I'm Sean Payton, I'm telling my defense to hit Josh Allen every play and hit James Cook every play and make them win with everybody else.
Yeah, 100%. Make somebody else step up and make a play. Will Cooks be that guy? Who knows? Shakir was kind of nowhere to be seen last week, so we'll see if he can make a better appearance for them. But overall, you're
Yeah.
going Denver on this game too?
Yeah. I like Denver.
I think that's fair. So we'll move on from that one. Both of us going Denver on that one. We got the Texans traveling up to Foxborough to take on a very, very powerful New England Patriots team that has been winning a lot of games. They've been taking care of business. Their defense really showed up for them last week. Will it show up again against a pretty, as we mentioned, CJ Stroud with 4 fumbles, 1 interception. He's going to have to be a lot better than that to beat this New England team. He just needs to throw the ball to Nico Collins. It seems to be the solution.
Yeah. Well, Nico didn't practice today. He might not play on Sunday.
Uh-oh.
Concussion protocol after Monday, and the short week's not helping Houston. Um, Christian Gonzalez is in the same situation for New England, but Gonzalez practiced today. So that's a massive swing between Christian Gonzalez and Nico Collins because that's, the big matchup on the perimeter for the Patriots defense and the Texans offense. Nico Collins can't go. Houston's in big trouble because they cannot run on the Patriots. I'm telling you that right now. They're not going to run the ball on the Patriots
Mm,
effectively.
that is fair. It is going to be really hard to run the ball effectively, especially with the running back room they have, which is not exactly scary. As they got Marks leading their running backs right now, and he hasn't exactly been a terrifying prospect. Meanwhile, New England does have some very talented running backs between Henderson and Stevenson was really picking it up going into the playoffs. What do we think here, Coop? Do we think your boys are going to be able to handle business at home? Take care of these Houston Texans as they come in with maybe the best pass rush in the whole league. That is the thing. This Texans defense certainly not to be taken lightly.
Yeah, this is the best defense in the NFL by a long shot, if you ask me.
You
Um,
might be right.
that's gonna be
Maybe not
it's
by a
gonna be
long
tough.
shot. Denver's right behind them, I would say, but they probably are the best.
Yeah, I would say they're number one to me. The things I think about in this game are each offensive line and how they're going to handle each other's defense. I think the Patriots' offensive line had a little bit of trouble against the Chargers. The two rookies, Campbell and Wilson, as much as I love them, struggled a little bit. Um, to me, I guess the big question is, are the Patriots better equipped to handle an elite defense than the Texans are to handle pretty good defense? I don't think the Texans are equipped to handle a pretty good defense right now, especially without Nico Collins. If they can't run the ball and if they go down, Stroud's dropping back a lot. And Stroud dropping back a lot did not go well for them last week. Um,
Very true.
Even regardless of the Patriots, they couldn't get a snap off half the time. I mean, they couldn't even get the ball to Stroud cleanly. I think the Patriots have the slight advantage in that realm, and also I think we have a better special teams than them.
I think that's fair. And as you mentioned, if Collins can't go, they will have to rely on Christian Kirk, who did go off last week. We'll see if he can do that again. It will be a little different having Christian Gonzalez guarding him, though, than I think having any of those Steelers corners who that Steelers defense just wasn't quite it this year as they normally have been. So
No, they
I
were
think
not very good. Yeah.
they were not very good, and Stroud still struggled against them. So Stroud's definitely going to have to find it within himself, have a much better game season. You know, he's kind of been up and down all year. They're going to have to rely heavily on him to get this job done. And I'm kind of with you. I don't think he's going to be able to do that against, like you mentioned, pretty decent defense that knows how to make some plays when they need to. And maybe Mr. MVP frontrunner himself on the other side, taking on the best defense in the NFL. This is going to be a hell of a test for him. He did get sacked a lot, as you mentioned, because of those rookie tackles. Will they be able to keep him upright against the best pass rush in the league? I think we're going to see Drake Maye take some sacks, but I think they'll find a way. Probably be a more. They'll probably give up more than 3 points, though. I suspect. What do you think?
We're gonna have to run the ball a lot. We can't have Drake dropping back a shit ton. We can't give Anderson and Daniil Hunter that many chances to cause havoc and ruin my life.
Yeah.
So big game for Stevenson, big game for Henderson. They're gonna have to take a lot of responsibility here. Um, and I mean, to me, I think about like I've seen Drake May elevate, teams that might have been outmatched besides the quarterback, and I don't know if Stroud's going to do that for his team, especially without Nico.
It's a very fair point. They are going to be getting that run game going. He was their number one runner last week, so you would hope that they could get more out of their run game this week. Danielle Hunter just doesn't seem to get enough credit. You know, he had that amazing run with the Vikings, and he's closing in on 130 some sacks in his career. And now paired with Will Anderson, I do believe they will cause a lot of havoc. But your offense has got to find some way to score. And they relied heavily on the Texas defense to get him like what was it 2 touchdowns last week. So I just all that to say, I think I'm going for the home team. I think I'm going for the Patriots in Foxborough. I think they will take care of business here. I don't think we've seen enough out of Stroud, like you said, to elevate the rest of his team to a victory. So I think we're going to go Patriots here. And I probably don't have to even ask this, but I'm assuming you're going for the homeboys as well.
Yeah, big time.
Big time. All right. Well, that would settle the AFC. It would be the Patriots traveling to the Broncos. In a way, you're almost kind of hoping the Bills can find a way to win this game because then the road to the Super Bowl would go through Foxborough.
Yeah, I'd prefer Buffalo to Denver for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Moving over to the NFC side, we have the San Francisco 49ers, who are basically a zombie team. They've been like as their players go down, I've heard rumor that they're chopping off their limbs and attaching it to Christian McCaffrey, therefore making him more powerful. So the running back has been getting limbs from all of his teammates and just gaining in power every time one of his teammates go down. He has Nick Bosa's Achilles. He has Um, Fred Warner's brain, they just straight up took his brain and just put it right into Christian McCaffrey. So he has two brains now. And most recently, Kettle has gone down. So they took his biceps and just put them right into Christian McCaffrey's biceps. So he has double the biceps for this game. It's going to be an interesting matchup as they travel to Seattle to take on Sammy Darnold and the boys, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Will he take care of business? This was they previously played right before the season ended, of course, in the last regular season game. They held the 49ers quite in check. They only got 3 points, but Sammy Darnold didn't look amazing either. What are we thinking headed into this divisional AFC NFC game, Cooper?
Well, on paper, the Niners are outmatched, and they can tape together all the limbs they want. But the real story coming out this week is that there's an electric substation next to the practice field, and that kind of thing, high exposure to those electromagnetic fields, makes you more susceptible to injuries. So the Niners, you could probably get Wi-Fi from Christian McCaffrey's head at this point. Put your phone close enough. That's
Yeah,
what they're saying on the internet.
I could
Um,
see it.
Now, if all the Niners are, walking 5G towers at this point, you think, logically, electric types versus flying types, the Seahawks, got to go with the electric types, right?
Yeah, yeah, that is a good point. And they seem to be predestined to get there, as they continue to make ritualistic sacrifices of their own players just to get to the playoffs. Kind of messed up, if you ask me. But they're doing what they got to do to get there. But can they stop Mr. Smith and Jigba? 1,700 yards over the regular season. Kenneth Walker did just enough, in the run game to be effective. The real question is how is Sammy Darnold going to reply to playoff pressure? He didn't handle it especially well last year with Minnesota. Now he's maybe a little more settled in to his team. This isn't I'm just plugging in for some rookie. This is his team now. And will that be enough to get this victory? We shall see, Cooper, because they got their work cut out for them, but they are at home with the 12th man behind them. The Seahawks fans are going to be pumped for this one. Division rivalry, so certainly no stranger to each other. I believe this rivalry went 1-1 last year, right? Or in the regular season.
Yeah, the Niners won in week one and the Seahawks won in December.
Okay, yeah. So as we mentioned, that is going to be a 1-1. This is the third one, so it's not like it's beaten your division rival 3 times. Either one who gets the win here moves on to the NFC Championship. What an honor it would be for Mr. Sammy Darnold to be able to get that going. But do we maybe trust Brock Purdy more? The seventh round pick, Mr. Irrelevant, overlooked, but he's been there before. He's gone to the Super Bowl before. He's done these things before, Cooper. Can he do it again with Christian McCaffrey to back him up? Jawan Jennings is still healthy. He's still out there, So will this team find a way? Robinson with a hell of a game as well. Had himself 6 receptions, 111 yards. They did take down what maybe a lot of people had as their Super Bowl favorites in the Philadelphia Eagles. How you feeling living over there in Philly? What's the vibe with the Philly fans right now? Are they hating life? I hope they are.
Well, I'm not going to say anything mean about them. I'll write it down and show you because they can't read, just so they're not going to get upset about it. Eagles are a fucking joke. No, I mean they got a great defense. Their defense is absolutely absurd. Fangio's great, but Sirianni and Hurts, I even after they won the Super Bowl, I wasn't convinced about either of them.
Yeah.
I thought Howie was the genius behind everything, and I think Sirianni's only as good as his coordinators are. You ask any Eagles fan, what is Sirianni actually good at? They don't have an answer for you. You know, he's a culture guy, but their culture sucks.
Yeah, I
Their
don't
best
know if you're a
receiver is
culture. I don't know if
pissed
you could
off
be a
all the
culture.
time.
I don't know if you could be a culture guy when you run over to your star receiver after he drops a couple passes and get right up in his face. Like maybe you're trying
Yeah,
to get him fired up. Sirianni's a strange guy, so he has
but
weird ways of motivating his boys, but that just seemed a little off.
even the culture thing, he has fucking Big Dom to help him out with that, and it's just a complete joke to the general public. He's a culture guy, and he has his security guy that has to stop him from fighting his own players. The guy's a jackass.
He
It's a
really is.
disgrace. It is a disgrace that he ever touched the Lombardi.
It really is. It is kind of sad. But enough about those ridiculous Philadelphia Eagles. They are gone from our lives now, thank goodness.
Josh
Instead,
Jacobs could be a better quarterback on that team than Jalen Hurts could.
you're probably right. I haven't been impressed with what we see from Jalen Hurts, but either way, we're here to talk about the NFC West and how ridiculous it is that three of these teams are still alive in the NFC. It's just absolute madness. They've been incredible in this division, and I do think we'll probably see the NFC's representative out of the NFC West. But anyway, dude, I think just something tells me that all the sacrifices, all the religious sacrifices will be enough, and the 49ers will find a way to overcome the Seahawks for no reason. There's no reason to believe in this other than that I just don't trust Sammy Darnold yet. Like I want to be wrong. I do kind of like the kid. It would be cool to see him, be successful. So yeah, all that to say, I'm going to go 49ers here just because Brock Purdy's been there before. He's done it. He's climbed the mountain, if you will, and I think he could do it again.
Yeah, it's tough. I've been writing off San Francisco all year because of their injuries, and they've been proving me wrong every
They prove it
time.
wrong every time.
Uh, they just lost George Kittle last week, which that's a massive, massive blow to them.
Massive loss. Talk about a culture guy. That's a culture guy right there.
Yeah, he was slugging a bottle of tequila in the trainer's room watching their victory against Philly after he got
Attaboy.
injured. Pour one out for the king. But
Indeed.
yeah, I think Shanahan's the kind of guy who in their game, I said December, I think it was in January actually, but in their last game of the season this season against the Seahawks, they were completely flat. I think they lost 20-3 or something. Like,
13-3.
yeah, the offense didn't move the ball the entire time. The defense was all right. They don't really have a pass rush anymore, with all their injuries. I think Shanahan's the kind of guy who's going to come out with a much different game plan. I don't think he's going to get exposed the same way twice in a row. I think the Niners' offense is going to look alive. They're going to come out swinging in Seattle. But ultimately, I like the Seahawks better. And I'm going to say that Sam Darnold, he gets these playoff choker allegations for two bad games he had last year. I don't think that's who he is. I think you look at who he was when he got drafted by the Jets and how bad he looked and where he's come since then. I think he'll overcome this too. I like Sam Darnold to cook against the 49ers. I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks.
Our first divide of the day. And that's fine. I think this game, the beautiful thing about these playoffs is that all these teams can go either way. Shout out Carolina Panthers, man. People were disrespecting the hell out of them, and they put up a good fight. So I am happy for that. Speaking of which, we'll talk about the team that went ahead and eliminated them, the Los Angeles Rams. Maybe the other front runner for MVP with maybe the coldest statement ever on that last drive to Dante Adams. Let's go take their soul. And he sure did. Let his team down the field, get that final touchdown. Bryce Young's magic was just out at that point. He just didn't have any more magic. They couldn't even get one first down on that final drive. But I do want to say to all those haters out there saying we need to change how the playoff format works and all this bullshit. Shut the fuck up. Winning the division does have to count for something, and I think the Panthers did prove that they deserve to be there by almost taking out one of the best teams. People have been all over the Rams, and saying how great they are, and we saw some real fight out of the Carolina Panthers. A way to represent the NFC South, boys. Anyway, that to say, the Rams did ultimately win that game, and now they take on a Chicago Bears team that got by the skin of their teeth, Cooper. And if the kicker they're playing against could have just made one or two of his kicks, they would not have made it out of there. So they can't start like that again. I don't see I don't see Sean McVay doing the same, making the same mistakes LaFleur did in that second half and just being ultra conservative. I think the Rams are the type of team that will go for your throat if you put them in if they get out to an early lead. Caleb Williams was rough, but then a hell of a fourth quarter, and that was enough to will his Bears to victory. Here in Illinois, people are going wild. They are all very excited about this game. It is in Chicago, so Soldier Field gets to host yet another playoff game. It's going to be a cold one again. Um, Overall, though, how are you feeling about this game? What are you thinking?
It's funny that you mentioned the kicker on the Packers. I mean, he did. It's not all his fault, but he did partially have a piece of that pie in terms of
Dude, you missed
choking
two
it.
field goals and an extra point. Like,
Yeah.
that's rough. That's not
I
good.
but guess who fired their special teams coordinator like a month ago? Guess who's had kicker problems all season? Guess who's had special teams problems all season? The LA Rams. That's their one weak
Mm.
point of special teams. The Bears always feel like they end up in these scenarios where they need big special teams plays at the end of the game to keep them alive. Where they had the onside kick like a month ago against the Packers. They had the missed field goals last week. The Rams can't fall apart in special teams, and if it comes down to an onside kick, like I don't fully trust them. The odds are with them, obviously. I'm not going to say they're guaranteed to not get it, but I think when it comes to stupid bullshit, the Bears are more equipped to benefit from that than they are. But I think overall, the Rams are the slightly better team.
I don't even know about slightly. I do believe they're the better team, almost period. Puka Nakua had himself another fantastic day. One crucial drop, but that was enough. He was seemed to snap right out of it after that. And it's just crazy that it's a 1-2 punch of Puka Nakua and Devonta Adams over there. And this is a hungry Rams team, you know. Like obviously Stafford has won the Super Bowl before, the only remaining quarterback to have won a Super Bowl. But it's a veteran squad over there who all know this is one of their last chances, especially someone like Devontae Adams. He's got to know that this is one of his last chances to get a ring. I think they're going to be locked in. I think it's going to be too much for the not to discredit what the Bears have been doing this season. They have absolutely looked good, but I think the magic might run out here against a very talented Rams team that did show some weaknesses against the Carolina Panthers, granted. But then again, if you can just, protect your punter, that might not have gotten so close.
Yeah, I see the Rams as a team who they're not going to let the Bears get away with starting slow the way they do a lot. Um, the Bears, I mean, what I love the most about the Bears, aside from their play caller Ben Johnson, is their O line. Their O line is so good. Um, so what I want to see from the Bears is a similar game plan to what they came out with against Philly when they came to Philly and won on Black Friday. If the Bears come out slow, if Caleb's missing, 5 yard out routes on third down in the first quarter, the Rams aren't going to let them hang around.
Yeah.
Stafford's going to put up a lot of points on them. So ultimately, I'll take the Rams, but I think the Bears have a lot more of a chance than people are probably giving them.
Oh, I would absolutely agree with that. Exactly like you said. I'm also going to take the Rams on this, but I could definitely see the Bears somehow pulling off some magic. Like that Caleb Williams conversion on fourth down. If that doesn't make you a believer in Bears, I don't know what will. But that was a play where I think Packers fans really started to be like, "Oh shit, dude, it's all about to go. It's all about to go to hell right now for us."
Yeah, I like consistency better than fourth down miracles.
Of course,
So that's
of
what the Rams
course,
got.
and that's what I believe the Rams will do as well. And I think they got that taste of, oh boy, if we don't finish our food, it can come back to bite us. So I don't. So after the Carolina came really close to making them look silly, I don't. I think they're going to be more on guard. I mean, obviously it's the playoffs. Not to say that they're not taking any of these teams seriously, but I think they're ready to roll. After after that near loss, and I think we're going to see an all NFC West, NFC divisional round or championship game. So we're going flush on the Rams. We're going flush on just about every game besides the 49ers and Seahawks. We'll find out what happens to the division. The Super Bowl champions near. It's close, Cooper. It's all coming together. But that just about wraps it up here for our Pick'em show on Sports by Compian. Fans, we appreciate you riding with us all year. We only got a couple games left. Make sure you're soaking in all that NFL magic before it's finally gone. But fear not, when it is gone, there will be UFL, there will be MLR, and Sports by Compy will be here to give it to you. We'll be here to cover it for you folks because we know you care so much about what happens, and we're going to be here to make sure we continue to cover that for you guys. Cooper, before we head out here and send these fans into the divisional round where hearts will be broken, records will be made, what do you have to say to them?
His name is Drake Maye. His nickname is Drake Maye. His name and his nickname is Drake May. Question is, will he lead New England to the promised land? Drake May.
Love it. That is powerful words from our Cooper O'Connell. Do want to shout out him coming on the pod all year and supporting the program. We appreciate you, Cooper. Sports by Compian Nation loves you. Good luck to your Patriots. Good luck to all the teams this weekend.
Best
Sports by
football weekend of the year.
Absolutely. This is one of the best weekends of the year. Sports by Compian. We're out of here.